Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Nigerian in America. Yes, I know I haven't put up an episode on the Nigerian in America series in a while, and I apologize. It's completely my fault. I just got caught up with like life and a bunch of stuff that I'll tell you guys about in another video, but for now this is another episode of my Nigerian in America series. If you don't know what the series is about, basically I'm telling you guys about my experience of being Nigerian in America. And I just decided that, I'm gonna start from college experience. I attended an all-women's college. I'm gonna start do videos on like my experience in college, and then I'm gonna move on to graduation, finding a job, and everything leading up until my life right now. So in today's video, I'm talking about disadvantages and advantages of attending an all-women's college based on my experience and people around me and all that. So I have some very, very key points, so you better stay tuned and listen, okay? Before I go into advantages and disadvantages of attending an all-women's college, I'm just going to throw out a few names of very influential, amazing women who attended all-women's colleges here in the US and are doing phenomenally well for themselves, for their countries, for their families, and they're just amazing women. So yes, first on that list, Hillary Clinton. Did you know she attended an all-women's college? Because she did. She went to Wellesley, alright, graduated from Wellesley, and she's doing amazing for herself right now. Next on that list, Nancy Pelosi. If you don't know who she is, she's the current Speaker of the House of Reps, the majority leader for the Democrats. She's doing amazingly well. She attended Trinity College, which is an all-women's institution. Next on my list, Gloria Steinem. She attended my school, Smith College. She's a phenomenal feminist journalist, social political activist, has done amazing things for women all over the country. If you don't know who these people are, please Google them. I don't want to waste your time, but like Google them, okay? Next on that list, I'm going to throw out, just because I write and everything, so I'm going to throw out a couple of authors. Zora Neale Hurston, author of Their Eyes Were Watching God. If you haven't read that book, you are missing. There's also a movie based on the book, which is pretty good as well. Anyway, she attended Barnard, another women's college. There's Sylvia Plath, poet, author. She attended my school as well, Smith College. If you haven't read her poems, you should. They're absolutely amazing and quite thought-provoking. There's also Alice Walker, author of The Bell Jar. If you haven't read that, you should. That's just the point. So anyway, the list goes on, but I don't want to waste your time. This is just my way of like telling you guys that these women's colleges are actually really, really good schools and are like all the way there at the top of education here in the US. So if you were wondering about that, stop wondering. I'm gonna start with the advantages, and number one on that list is that attending an all-women's college is good because it prioritizes women's achievement. Okay, we live in a world where, let's not even lie, it's already hard enough being a woman. It's almost like you have to work twice as hard to be noticed, to be considered good enough. It's hard and it's difficult, okay? But being in that kind of environment where it's just women, the emphasis is on us. The priority is placed on you and your achievements, so you are the focus, okay? If you have never been the focus in any area of your life, in that moment, being in that school, in that community, you are the focus. Next on my list, and this is very, very important, it's that attending an all-women's college just provides you with a very robust, well-connected, like, alumni network. Guys, I cannot explain to you, there's something about the alumni network of women's colleges that is just insane. Like, as soon as you mention that you attended the school and another woman in that room attended that same school, you guys, like, they will do everything in their power to help you. Like, I know a bunch of people who after school, you know, got jobs in like different states across the country, and we're having trouble with like housing and all that, and the alumni network like this solved their problems, I'm telling you. So that support from the alumni network is like a given, unless you don't want it, unless you don't look for it, unless you don't ask for it, but it's there. It's there for you, and it can give you so much. Number 3 is just the opportunity to be with, to learn with, to grow with women who are just exceptionally brilliant and excellent, and just, you know, from different places. Like, there's nothing quite as powerful as being with other powerful women and feeling that power constantly, continuously. There's just something about that feeling that you get of like, I can do anything, like, forget, I will conquer the world like this. And it's amazing. It just makes you feel right at home. Number 4, which is pretty obvious, is that you have a higher chance of getting admitted into the school, because let's be honest, just the fact that it is all women's has already like eliminated men, like more than half of the population of people that would apply to a school, you know. So chances are you're probably gonna get in. But then it also depends on the school, because the schools still have their standards, you know, and they still reject people. But I think overall, just the fact that a whole gender is already eliminated gives you a higher chance of, you know, being admitted into the school. Number 5 is that it gives you a chance to develop high levels of, you know, self-confidence, self-esteem, and it just gives you time and an opportunity to understand yourself better. I feel like college is such an important part of a child's life. It's like right from high school, where it's like you're still a child but not really, and you're sort of confused about a lot of things, and you go to college, and that is sort of where you find yourself, or where you're expected to find yourself. And in a co-ed school, I don't know that people are really given the chance to just sort of take a step back and get to know themselves and grow and develop themselves. I feel like I don't think that's a thing that happens in many co-ed schools, but in women's colleges, because of how encouraging and supporting and just sort of laid back the environment is, you have the opportunity to just take a step back, grow, you know, that nobody's rushing you. You get to know yourself, you understand yourself, and as you grow more confident about who you are, your identity, your self-confidence, you know, starts to, and I'm going to speak as someone who was extremely shy as a child growing up until when I left my house. At some point my mom was even like, are you sure that I'm not sure I want you to leave this country, because you don't talk to anybody, you will not say what is wrong with you, you won't talk to anybody, you're so shy, you're so timid, you're so this, how are you going to survive? And I honestly didn't know. But one thing that school, the Smith College, helped me to, you know, it just helped me find myself. It took a while though. It took a while. My first year I was miserable. I was like, I'm not doing it again, I'm going home. But by my second year I found my footing, I found sort of my space, and I started to grow, started to understand myself better, and my self-confidence has, since then, I haven't looked back. Okay, and now I'm at the point where I don't even have shame. Okay, I don't have shame again. Women who attend all women's colleges are more likely to succeed in male-dominated careers like medicine, engineering, and law. Why is this? Because I feel like in a co-ed school, even if you're doing like one of these courses, engineering, medicine, all of these male-dominated courses, I still feel like there's a power play somewhere at work, or like a gender play that comes up from time to time in class, among professors and all that. All of that does not exist in the all-women's college. You say you want to do engineering, oh yeah, you are gonna do engineering. Professor is treating everybody equally, like there's no gender play, no power play, nothing, no nonsense like that. Okay, you put your head down and you do that engineering, baby girl. You want to go to med school, you put your head down and you bag that bachelor's degree, and then you study for your MCATs, and you, like, there's no gender play whatsoever. Just because we're all women, okay, you have to treat us equally, and there's no way that it will come up as they can't do it, or they are not sure you can do it. Because what do you mean all of us will just gather and cuckoo beat you there? Okay, I'm joking, but yeah, there's no gender play, no power play of any sort, and it's just like, this is what you want to do, we're gonna help you be the best at it. And so by the time these women graduate and go into those fields, their self-confidence is all the way up. So there's nothing gender play, power play, politics play, whatever play you want to play, they're ready for you, and they're going to keep their head down and do their work and do it well. The seventh advantage of attending an all-women's college is that you are more likely to, you know, just be more successful in our careers and earn more money. I don't know why this is, but this is also based on like studies and research over the years. Thinking about it now, I feel like it all still boils down to just knowing your worth, right? And having the self-confidence, knowing your worth, knowing that you're good at what you do, and not being afraid to stand up for yourself, not being afraid to say, I deserve more, I'm worth more, pay me more, you need to pay me more, and because I'm worth it, you know. So I think it all just boils down to that whole self-confidence, placing value on yourself and knowing that you are worth every penny. Okay, the last advantage of attending an all-women's college is that it's usually the communities, the school community is usually small, or like a sizable amount, and so there's a lot more cooperation among students. Okay, there's no rivalry per se, no bad blood of any sort. It's all just like, we all want to succeed together, and everybody is so helpful, everybody is there for you. There's a sense of sisterhood, which is something that I was really looking forward to attending there, and I found it there, and it was beautiful, it really was. And so yeah, I mean, I also understand that, you know, not everybody wants a small community, but I think that for many of us it was good and it was helpful to just have that sense of cooperation and community, knowing that you're part of something beautiful and something significant. Okay, so yes, those are the advantages. Now I'm gonna move on to the disadvantages, and I just have to say that I really had to think deeply to come up with these disadvantages. I only came up with 3. Advantages are 8. I only came up with 3 disadvantages, and even those 3 is still like, I don't really believe it. Now, number 1 is that, you know, you go to an all-women's college and then you graduate and you go into the real world that has men in it. Okay, so you've spent 4 or 5 years without this gender called men, and everything is all rosy, and then you come out and suddenly there's an obstacle, or there are a series of obstacles in your way called men, and it can be difficult to adjust from, you know, just being with all women and thriving, to go into the real world and suddenly there are men everywhere, blocking roads, being stupid, acting stupid, and just annoying you. Okay, no, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I think for some people that can be difficult, just adjusting to like real life, the fact that they are men, and men have wahala, they have problems, for lack of a better way to put it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Number 2, and this is actually the only disadvantage that I completely agree with. The social scene in many, if not all, women's colleges is like completely lacking. See, Saturday 7 a.m. people are in the library. They're in the library reading. I don't know what they are doing. 7 a.m. Saturday, Sunday, they are there. I'm like, understand, I study too. I know you have to study, but can we at least, I'm even saying morning, okay, Saturday nights, let's go on, you know, party small, do a few things. No, 9 p.m, 10 p.m, 11 p.m to midnight, they're in the library. Why? I feel like most of the fun that I had at Smith's happened off campus. Like we had to go to other schools, co-ed schools, UMass Amherst College. And then the few times that I had fun on the Smith campus, we had to bring other schools to us. You get, it wasn't just like a Smith event, like a Smith thing that, I don't know, it's weird. But the social scene is quite lacking. I completely agree, but you know, I survived. Okay, there are other schools, you can always go there and do what you want to do, or you just go into town and have a little fun, or create your own fun somehow. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. The last but not the least disadvantage of attending an all-women's college is that, you know, small communities are not ideal for everybody. I mentioned, you know, for the advantage that being in a small community is good because of the cooperation that happens and just the sense of sisterhood and community. It's all nice and good, but not everybody wants that. Okay, some people thrive in big communities. Some people want the big crowd. They want to get lost in the crowd, you know. And so I understand that, and if that's the case, then, you know, a women's college may not exactly be your ideal spot, and it's completely fine. But you know, so yeah, these are just the 3 disadvantages that I could think of, and I really had to think like very deeply. So that's just to tell you that in my opinion, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages by like a huge gap. So if it's something that you've been thinking about and you're not sure, I have convinced you that attending an all-women's college is actually good for the soul, good for your future. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad that I did. I will never ever regret attending an all-women's college. I think it was absolutely amazing. I think that it was the right decision that I made for myself, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, that's all for this video. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching.